we finish with our handsome and wonderful guest from Veterans Honor Flight, Bryan Questelle. Well, I got to do my best here. So we announced earlier the goal for this year on WSIL, and so now Michelle has given the approval because she's the boss. She's the one in charge. We're now going to announce what our goal is this year on the social media platforms of Southern Illinois Community Foundation.
Supposed to do the wave
and Harness Digital Marketing, right? And so, Michelle, what is our goal this year?
So for 2023, our GiveSI goal is $300,000 being raised for local nonprofits.
And I want people to understand what that means, because we have roughly just right at a little over 100 nonprofits that can benefit from, if we can pull this off, when we pull this off, right? $300,000 to nonprofits to go back to this community right here throughout the region is huge. And one of them that can benefit from that is our friend here, Bryan, from Veterans Honor Flight. And
Thank
so
you
welcome.
for having me. Yeah, thanks for letting me be here, man. I'm excited about it.
So I know people are really well aware of Veterans Honor Flight. You guys have picked it up where it was like 1 flight a year to 2 flights a year. And so how many flights are we at right now?
We are going to do number 12 in May. Number 12. Yep.
So when you look back, you were probably just trying to get through the first one.
Oh my gosh. Yes. We were trying to get through the first one. The first one was about 65,000 to do. And we had to put a deposit down of 6,500, which we did not have any way, shape or form. And coming up with that first 65,000 was one donation from People's Bank. And they put us over the top to make the down payment on it. And then we had to raise the remaining 58,000 for the rest. And that's where Southern Illinois came through for us. And the first time. And they
didn't come through one time.
No, they've come through 12 times.
12 times.
12 times. Because 12s we're ready to go on 12. So we've already reserved the plane and paid for the plane. So 12's a go. We're good. Yeah.
And so when you're looking at all these flights and the amount of money that you raised, you've got an amazing board. You've got an amazing group of volunteers
we do.
Throughout. It's not just your board. You've got churches. Group. I will tell you, Pastor John Holst, the unofficial pastor.
No, he's official.
Oh, the official.
Yes, he's got a purple shirt to prove it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The official pastor of Veterans Honor Flight. His church feeds people like I've never met. Nobody feeds people in Southern Illinois like they do.
That's exactly right. Pastor Holst is just a wonderful addition, and he's a constant with us, and he may be the best blessing of an airplane I've ever heard. Well, maybe the only one I've ever heard, but he's wonderful. It's just uplifting every time he gives us a bless. He blesses the plane before we take off every time, and it's moving every time. I love the guy. I really do. And he's with us every time.
So as we're looking at flights 13, 14, 15, and hopefully getting up to 20.
No, hoping to get
beyond 20.
Beyond 20. The cool thing is about what we're doing is we're never going to run out of veterans. The goal is to take every Southern Illinois veteran. So that's everyone, not ones that served in battle, in country, everyone that raised their right hand and swore to defend the Constitution. That's all you have to do. Put the uniform on and swear to just serve to defend the Constitution, and we want you to go, and that's the goal. And I get no's, but I tell them that you're not going to stop hearing from me because I want you to go. I want everybody to go. And we may be now the youngest veteran on the last flight was born in August of 1948. The youngest was born in August of 1948. So we have everybody born September 1948 and beyond, and anybody that hasn't applied that's older, because we take oldest veterans first always.
Right.
And that's open door till we lock it down to start filling the plane. Mm-hmm. So if you're not applied and you do apply and you fit in our you're going on the next one. That's just how we do it. We want to take the oldest guys first and ladies, because we do take female veterans and have. They're not many, but I want them all to go. So all you have to do is sign up.
When we were out in the hallway talking prior to this, you mentioned kind of a number of how many veterans do you think you've taken on the flight so far from Southern Illinois?
I know on flight number 10, we surpassed 700. Not exactly just 700, but the number 700 veteran was on there. And he was a World War II veteran by design. And he placed a wreath at the Arlington National Cemetery during the changing of the guard. So that was a cool thing. And then the other milestone at Flight 10 was $1 million. We have spent $1 million of Southern Illinois donated funds to take veterans to DC free of charge. 1 million. That's awesome. And the cool, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Southern Illinois has a way of stepping up.
Yeah. It's
right.
amazing.
When there's a need that needs meeting, the people in our communities find a way to make it happen.
They do.
What an incredible goal, and ability to surpass that and then to keep going. So
yeah, it's humbling to know that we're doing something like Tom and I were talking. It's a blessing to me to be able to do, and we get to go do it. And the community that we live in keeps letting us do it to honor the heroes that let us do what we want to do. It's such a circle of life kind of thing that it's a blessing to me and gives me the warm fuzzies that I love to get every time. And, the thing that people don't understand maybe is that the national network of Honor Flight, there's 132 hubs, and we're merely one of them, but they set your fundraising zone. And when we signed up to be an Honor Flight, they said, this is your fundraising. That's the only place we can raise funds. We can take veterans from anywhere. We can go anywhere, but we can only raise funds. And that's from US 50, Terre Haute, across to Belleville, down to Carroll. That triangle is the only place we raise funds. And we've raised and spent $1 million from those Southern Illinois people. So that's, a round of applause. That's
absolutely
awesome. Yeah.
And I know you have so many stories because, we've heard some of those throughout the years, and there's, I'm sure, so many more that you have to tell. But talk to us a little bit about what impact this really does have on those veterans.
We've taken 800 plus, and there's 800 different effects that have been emotions. Everybody feels differently about it. Some are elated to get to go because they've never been on a plane. Some have served in Vietnam and never been to the Vietnam Wall and see a buddy on the wall. They have a different emotional day. We have to prepare for any of the emotions that occur during the day because they could, and we just have to know. And happiness to sadness happens within minutes, and it's just the greatest feeling to see those guys either have that moment where they're like, okay, I can live with this now, or I'll tell you two stories too that hang with me that just make me happy. One is a Saline County guy who I've known my whole life, and we parked behind the Lincoln Memorial to see the Lincoln Memorial, the wall, the Vietnam Wall, Korea Memorial, and we also had the water out, and so everybody could get a drink. And he'd been out with his guardian and walked around the memorials and came back, and he was sitting on the wall taking a rest and getting him a drink. And his guardian positioned himself on the wall with him and kept his attention while I kept his attention. And another man slipped up and sat down beside him. And while he was talking to his guardian, this man that sat down beside him said, "How long you been in town?" He goes, it was his son. He hadn't seen him in quite a while. I can't remember, a year or something. And they had a moment. We got all the pictures, like Courtney was saying, they're snapping the pictures where they had this emotional moment. They're all online that you can go look at right now if you want to. But that moment was, one, he was there with a group of veterans. Two, he got to see his son who he hadn't seen in a while, and then he had all the emotion. And so that is cool. That's just awesome. And then another thing that you don't ever think about when you're doing this, just part of being part of the team, is just going and having the best day you can have with the veterans, and each and every one interacting and just having a day with the, camaraderie with the veterans. But they're having some sort of moment in their own life. And when we came back, from, I can't remember which flight this guy was on, but we were having the next flight medical evaluations for the veterans. And this gentleman and his wife came and wanted to present us with a painting that he'd done. And it was a pretty good size oil painting of a helicopter over a rice paddy and a wing or a door gunner and a medic sitting in the door. And he titled it "A Good Day." And I said, "Why do you call that? Why'd you call it a good day?" He said, "Well, that's me in the door there. I was a medic." He said, "And my job was we flew over in Vietnam. We flew over and then we sat down and I got out and got on the ground. If I didn't get shot at, they would land. If I got shot at, I'd try to get back in and we'd get out of there." He said, "That's the only day I didn't get shot at. That was a good day."
Wow.
And he painted that and he gave it to us. We have it at the airport. So it's a memento for us that changed his life. But then his wife told us that he also hasn't had any nightmares since he went on the flight.
It's amazing.
Right.
You know, I'd be remiss
Wow.
if we didn't talk a little bit about one of your board members, Lieutenant Dan,
Yeah.
who passed away and who was just a huge advocate, tenacious.
He was tenacious.
Very, I mean, that's a nice way, right?
Yeah. It's a good way
But
of putting
such a heart, and you know, nobody fought and wanted to like push for veterans more than him. And you guys did a great tribute to him on that. I think the last honor flight or the one before, and you do something with all the veterans that either are on the list or passed away. Tell them a little bit about what you do.
We have a call it flags of honor, and or honor flags, whichever way it turns itself. But basically, if a veteran is on our list, signed up, and they don't make it to the flight, which has happened, regrettably, then we take a flag folded and we present it on the plane in a ceremony to another veteran, and then we carry the flag all day with us with the name tag that the veteran would have worn from us in the flag, and we carry it all day, take pictures at all the memorials with it all day, and then we bring it back with us and then we present it to the family before any of the veterans come off the plane. And it's not a replacement, but it gives the family something from us that we wanted to take that veteran with us. He just didn't make it, or she didn't make it to that point. And it's as sad as it is, I don't want to say it's the best we can do, but it is something we can do.
Yeah.
It's an honor
Yeah,
to be able to do that and have those people.
It is.
So,
and Lieutenant Dan was instrumental in carrying those flags for those veterans. Yeah.
And so if you want to help the rest of our Southern Illinois veterans, we've got many thousands more.
Yes, sir.
Donate to Veterans Honor Flight. And it is a great experience. And I always have people reach out to me. How do I get to be a guardian? You can go to their website. All the information is there. You can fill out. And again, no cost to the veteran to go on these. There is a small, and I do say small, nominal fee because you would pay a lot more if you actually paid for all this. But the Guardians do raise funds and have the opportunity to.
This today, tax deductible.
Yep, tax deductible.
Yeah.
And so, today, tomorrow, another great veteran organization to donate to. I can tell you, Bryan, the board, everybody, all the volunteers give 1,000% of themselves, their lives. They're committed to this, and they're committed to making sure these veterans, all of them, as Bryan said, will get to go and see these memorials that honor them. And so, all right, this is our last one.
Fund Flight 12, right?
Yeah.
May 7th.
May 7th.
May 7th is the day.
Can we say this to Tom?
Yeah.
Because the thing I don't want to ever miss the opportunity to say the flight is important, and you've been on one or two, and you know how important that flight is. But also important, and to me, the reason we only do 2 a year, one is because it costs about $120,000 a piece, but the other thing is because we don't want to water down the welcome.
Yeah.
When we bring the veterans back, every single group deserves the same welcome home as the one previously. So we don't want to water that down to the point where I was out there last week.
Yeah.
We want it to matter every single time. And everyone that can hear me, everyone that can see me is invited to those welcome homes. And the next one is May 7th. And we have a committee that throws a party before we get back. We don't get back till 8:30 of the evening. They start at 5 with
Nice.
food trucks and bands and live music and kids play places, and everything you can think of is there for a family affair. And they park at Sam's and they bus them over so that they can get in and out easy. And it's just that committee led by Barb Hogg is awesome. They do a great job, and they make the experience after the flight as important or more important than the flight itself. And it's everybody come out. This is so cool to watch the kids' faces when they see their heroes walk by. It's just a cool experience for the whole family.
Well, Michelle, this is our last interview. I know you've got to get to WSIL.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, WSIL.
Thank you.
Bryan, good luck. Raise some money and let's get more
Raise
flights.
some money, okay.